Welcome back to Boruto Anime Review Episode 245. Can you believe it's been 5 years since I started my review for this series? Yes, it seriously has been 5 years. And you're thinking, how the heck has it been 5 years? Well, it has. Let's see. Because I know I started watching the series, do my review when the first episode first aired. So yeah, it's been a little over 5 years. Like April 5th, 2017. Which I believe that was because I remember when the series first started, because I know viewed this on Wednesday. Which, here's a strange fun fact for you. When the series first came out 5 years ago, it premiered on a Wednesday. And then for some reason, they kept moving it. They moved it to Thursday, and then they moved it to Sunday, which has been there ever since. Yes, as for why in the world they decided to move it for, I have no idea why. Let's see if I remember correctly. Because I remember April 5th was. Oh, yes, I was correct about that. April 5th was a Wednesday. Yep. And I think it was with the Mitsuki disappearance arc, if I remember correctly. I think that's when they moved it over to Thursday. And then eventually moved it to Sunday, not long after they completed. And as for why the days changed, I don't know. It's kind of weird, and it's interesting though. I'm viewing this episode on pretty much on kind of when I first started viewing the series 5 years ago, and one episode 245, which is called Funamushi's Tenacity. Now, the thing with this, now I'm also going to talk about New Chapter Manga 69. Now, here's the thing. This chapter came out just today. We'll talk about this a little later, but it's been usually reviewed the same day, but I'll get to that. Don't worry about that. So, in the case of basically what happens in this episode. Well, first start off with basically, one of the things we start with this episode is Hibiki, where she's basically, she's running away, and Futon, and I think it's Buton and Keiko are looking for her. And they do find her, apparently, off-screen, because she finds out about the Futo's plans, per se. Because apparently Boruto's plan, now, apparently mentally he is very distraught over Hibiki running away. So, yeah. So, basically they kind of have it where Diki's going to protect the village, while everybody else basically built defenses. And wait for everybody to come there. It is interesting, though, we don't have any bits of conversation here. I thought it would have been nice, maybe to, have Bards, while they're sitting and wait, maybe have, a small chat to basically, how things been in the village, something to basically calm the nerves of the impending attack. Nope, we don't get that. It's a bit of silence. Apparently, Hibiki just walking about, running away, gets her sleeve torn, fixes up, and she poking her finger, and she realizes, what the heck is she doing? Now when she got poked and her fingers are bleeding and this is something I have not been a fan of in fiction. This is common I've seen in fiction. Whenever their fingers in the blood, people tend to suck their own blood. I find that to be disgusting. Either cutting it with, either gets cut with a paper cut on counterfeit money. I saw this episode of CSI, and this has also happened frequently in anime. I find this practice to be absolutely disgusting. If your finger starts bleeding, maybe drink the blood first. No, it's gross. Yes, I find it to be disgusting. Why the heck would anime even still do this nonsense? I have never liked this at all. I find the practice to be absolutely. Do you think do you think drinking your own blood is actually good? No, it's gross. Why the heck would the animes to do this? And she just makes her torn sleeve. Yeah, she tore her sleeve on a freaking branch of all things. And she goes, the Futo's basically going to ambush people who are about to ambush them. So apparently she meets them with their two off screen because they never show this for some reason. And then eventually, the plan is they're sitting there for it seems as though that Boruto is just sitting there waiting. It seems like they finished setting this thing up, and they're waiting Not very long. I'd say maybe 5 minutes. And then the things get cut and they start to brief brawl with him. Where Hero's about to lose, and then of course everybody else shows up. Everyone have a CBQ, including Mento is like holding her hand. She finds that kind of irritating. And then later on, they team with each other to face up against the Futo. When of course when Team 40 shows up, and then we have the partner for various people. We have Buton teamed up with Sadara, which that's interesting. Boruto obviously works with Kagura. We have Metali working with Hibiki. And she's like, oh, continue to protect me. Yeah, she has like her threads all over the place, which I kind of find to be hilarious. And she probably likes the fact she probably finds Metali to be quite handsome. And you're probably thinking, has she developed a crush on him? I don't know. It's possible. Metali, it's obvious that he does. Because it's very implied he likes her. And of course you have the most interesting combo is Iwambi and Kiro, two muscle heads, basically, who use their weapons basically to cause a lot of damage. Yeah, these two were great together. And as for the other three, which simply Kawanaki, Mitsuke, and Dinky, they're the ones basically like, okay, we don't have any partners, let's just the three of us team up, take on the futon, which I found this battle to be so fun. And then the general steps in. It's like, hey, we're here to avenge the death of... We're here to avenge Lady Cyrene. So he goes in. Of course, he threatens some of his men. He goes in. And then he summons a freaking water tornado during his fight with Kagura. Like, oh, the guy was here to capture. Just by sheer coincidence. And some of the thing, and of course, then we have Metali show up. And then they have the team up have at the village later. Which might be so awesome. Yep. Like, oh yeah, water is that. Well, the grounds of the only place that can find water. So he uses a second tornado. And uses the blood of his own subordinates. And I'm like, is he a freaking vampire? And nope. Apparently, this is a Futo clan technique. Absorb the blood of your own comrades to form a jutsu. Okay. So he uses the damn thing as everybody, and eventually he corners Kagura, where it looks like Kagura basically used a big, humongous chakra blade that's supposedly kind of like, nope, he gets away somehow, and he tells everybody, okay, I'll let him go if you drop all your weapons. Everybody except Boruto surprisingly drop weapons. And he's like, I have him here. Let's go ahead and stab him in the freaking back. And he's like, who said I was going to release him? And that's what he stabs. I'm like, what the heck? Like, okay. You just contradict basically what you wanted to do. And everyone's like, and of course, the first person we obviously see reaction from is Boruto, because how close they are. And don't worry, he's still alive, though barely. He doesn't actually die because it's ruined by the teaser. Where basically that Sadara is sort of saved him, we can't stop the bleeding. So he is dying, but he's not dead yet. But the Kings, and they say, oh yeah, we can't exactly treat him here. But damn that tease. It's like, we have this obvious cliffhanger, and we have to have that preview for next week. We don't show that, we just have, we have this text saying, oh yeah, he's barely alive. Ruin suspense, Parrot. Really, you ruined the suspense of this awesome cliffhanger. We have the apparent death of Kagura and Fruit. Oh yeah, he's still alive. Wow. Man, Parrot. What a lame idea for a tease. Just like, oh no, he's... Like, it's by far one of the most weirdest ones. I've never seen a cliffhanger like this. Like, it's almost like I need to stop watching the freaking teasers for the preview next week because we have these awesome cliffhangers and they're ruined by the freaking teaser. Like, wow, it's so something. Still a good episode, mind you. And the next episode is called Heavy Loss. So it's definitely implied Kagura is dead, but it's not confirmed yet. But I'll have to look forward to next week's episode. Now, in the case of this manga, believe it or not, this came out just today. Now, as far as I've been reviewing the manga for Boruto, this is only the second time I can think of Well, I managed to review it the same day it comes out. Though the last time it happened, I think it was like a couple months ago, where it came out on a Sunday of all things. I thought that was kind of weird. I'm not really sure why it came out on Sunday 4, but it did. Usually it releases between like 20 or 22nd of a month. That's normally when they release these chapters, and since it's the 20th of the month, why not release it? So this is chapter 69. Yes, 69 in the manga, which by the way has the beautiful Delta on the cover. Yeah. She may be a scientific tool, but she's hot. Yeah, it's so hilarious. And we pick up where we left off last, so Armando's was like, Elda, you're alive? Isn't it obvious? Say most stupid reactions. Armando. Well, can't blame you. Yeah, Armando's in freaking terror. Yeah. It's implied here, based on why he's scared, as a judge. It's implied he may have peed his pants. Yes. And then you have Delta basically just where her leg got her. And then she catches it, and Elda catches says, You're flashing me, Delta dear. I can see your panties. Okay. And she just like, what the? Yeah, it's kind of weird. Now, this leg too. And Grisham's like, what the heck? Hey, Delta, what are you doing? I know, too. What's up with this girl? Thanks, Delta, dear. That's good. What is she? Emergency situation. I need backup. Forgive me, Boruto. Huh? Stopping Momoshiki's rampage was my responsibility as a teacher. I can't be there to protect me. Need me. And Kawaki had to take a painful role, too. The village doesn't need anyone else besides me. Yeah, and of course, they recap what happened previously when a few chapters was where Kawaki supposedly killed Boruto, but he came back thanks to his Karama. Yes, I like the fact they bring this up. It's fine. Like talk about resolve. And then he finally gets back his Ninja Headband. I'm like, you've had that all this freaking time, Boruto, and now you decide to bring it back? And Sasuke's like, if it's a helpful, keep it. It's a gift. Yeah, so basically Boruto gets to keep Sasuke's Ninja Headband. Despite the fact he received a pardon at the end of Shippuden, and of course toward the end of the original Naruto manga. Apparently he's considered a wandering ninja. Like, it's unknown exactly what his position is in the village. Some people call him the Shadow Hokage. Simply put, the man who operates behind Naruto, behind the scenes, do some of the Naruto's imply dirty work per se. I mean, he does work with Abu Black Ops per se. I mean, his brother worked with Abu Black Ops, but in the case of who runs it, it's mostly Sai who runs Abu Black Ops in the current Boruto series, not Sasuke. Sasuke probably has no interest in Abu Black Ops. He just has some other, he does research for Naruto, he's away a lot of the time. Thanks, old man. Yeah, this is something I think is a very stupid thing that some kids do. Sasuke is in his early 30s, and he calls him an old man. No, people in the 30s are not old. This is probably a Japanese thing. Excuse me, when it gets to people who are in their early 30s, like little kids, Boruto's they're 12, 13 at this point, where they consider people in their early 30s to be old. No, they're still quite young. I mean, heck, I turned 34 last week. And some kid might consider me to be old because I'm older than them. Probably not by much. But this type of trope I've never been a really big fan of. Aside from the whole blood drinking thing. This is another thing I've never really been a fan of. Where kids call people who are 20 years older than they are old. Which I think is quite dumb. They're older. They're not old. They're not grandpas. They're not in their 70s. That's old. Early 30s is still quite young. Heck, my dad, who's 65, he doesn't look 65 at all. I'm 34, and I don't look 34 at all. I look like I'm still in my 20s. Yeah, it's a thing in my family. Who would have thunk it? Despite the fact my brother, who which is 2 years younger than I am, and his hair is always turning gray, because that's basically a trait from my mom's side of the family. I have inherited. It's implied I might have, but it's not exactly visible with my brothers. So let's get back to this. So Chester vs. Your Life. So he puts it back on, despite the fact he has a ninja headband. As a matter of fact, in the episode, he's wearing his own. Why the heck is he still having Sasuke's, even though he could, I don't know. You could basically keep it as a memento. You don't have to freaking wear the damn thing. You could, I don't know, put on your own freaking ninja headband, Boruto. Everyone has to resolve next. And then we have a conversation between Mitsuki and Sadara. Yep, it's a very good conversation. Talk about what happened before. And then, basically, one of the most weirdest questions, Mitsuki asks Sadara. Ridiculous. Yeah, then Mitsuki ask her, do you like him, Boruto? She's like, what? Where the heck did that come from? Yes. Now, in the case of Sadara, it was implied in the movie she might have a crush on, but it never got anywhere at all. The only other girl in the series that's implied she may have feelings for Boruto is Sumeri. Yep. And she's like sweating at it. Do you think she does? I mean, my friend Edgar thinks that she does. Me? I don't see. The evidence is very minor at best. So Sumeri, I could see him basically being with then over Sadara. Though at least you gotta praise Boruto this. At least he's not getting the crap beat by a girl on his own team like Naruto did half the time. Yeah, whenever Naruto acted like an idiot, Sakura is the one who beat the crap out of him. A lot. Despite the fact that he may be doing his own thing and doing the right thing, Sakura rather beat the crap out of him as a punishment. Yes. Someone who's basically like a childhood friend who would rather beat the crap out of him. And the last time Sakura ever did this was in the Sasuke arc in the final season of Naruto Shippuden. That was the last time she ever did it to him. If you're thinking, has she ever done it? She ever currently in the Boruto series? No, she has never done it because he's Hokage now. She can't exactly do that anymore. And you might be thinking, in this whole series, has Sadara ever punched Boruto for being an idiot? The answer is no, because she's a lot more reasonable than Sakura. That's just my opinion anyways. That can probably cover probably because also the reason why she doesn't constantly hit Boruto is because she gets some of that mental stability from her father. Her badass father, Sasuke. So, then of course they talk about it for a while, and of course they have a very good conversation. Then we cut to pretty much basically what we saw back in chapter 28 of this very manga. Which I should point out though, came out a few years ago. Came out like a little over 2 years into the series. I think that was like 2019, I think it was, when they first met. And we have Sasumi right next to Kwanaki's bed. And it's like, and you have Naruto here. Yo, you slept well. And then Boruto, and I think it's Naruto saying this. That reminds me of the first time I met too. Yeah, Naruto's one that says this. But it's basically the dialogue is pointing toward Kawanaki, but it's obviously Boruto, like, it's obviously Naruto's one saying it. And of course Kwaki is like, you commented on stupid memories, did you, Lord 7th? Sorry, Tsubuki was meant. Oh, sorry, not realizing you're not going to condemn me for killing Boruto. And Tsubuki's like, huh? Relax, Boruto's fine. What? His power saved him. Sorry, he's fine. Kwaki killed Boruto. If you had been there, we all would have died. I'm not saying because Boruto's, but I'm grateful. Boruto, so he says, you took on a painful role. He said beforehand, Kawanaki, that I said before Kawanaki, flying Kawanaki, nowhere else. Everyone else belong to me, including you, Naruto. Ida, what is it? Enemy attack in Lab 3. Code and outer identity unknown. Be right. And of course Sasuke gets info too. Like, let's go. Yes, sir. Sorry, I had an urgent matter. Let's pick this up later. Lord 7th. So Boruto's fine? Yeah, if it is a fiddle. Don't need to worry. Good. Yeah, here's the thing. I remember not long back, basically, Sasumori was asked by Kawanaki if Sasumori liked Boruto. Yes, it is quite obvious she likes him. I mean, I could see this basically more than Sadara liking Boruto. That's just my charisma, anyways. It doesn't have to be freaking with Sadara. Yep. Yeah, and of course, Shikamaru does his shadow paralysis jutsu, holds Ida in place. No, oh no way! You can actually attack me? I see. It's because his jutsu doesn't direct inflict harm. Amazing. I can't move at all. This is a first. And Delta's like, oh? She has a dumbfounded look on her face. And Ina does something she's never done in the series before. Talk to Amando mentally. Yes, she's a linear character in the series. Never with Armando. It's like, okay. And of course, yeah, I think it's Baruto. I think it's Shikamaru's like, want to talk to Amando and me knowing. Can you link us? My transmission? Amando, it's me. We're communicating via Ino's jutsu. Listen up. No matter what, don't you dare blurt out anything. Shikamaru. Good. You're doing great. First off, who and what is she? What kind of attack was struck with? And tell me how to counter it. Her name is Ida. To sum it up, all of us in here are currently her captives. What do you mean? It sounds ridiculous, but it's true. She acts on instinctive unconscious level. No matter your gender, you dealt to me. No one else can escape the ability of hers. And of course, you have Delta saying that Ida's cute, and she's blushing. Yeah, something Delta has never done before. Blush. And Chicken goes, "You're kidding, right? How is this even possible?" Vertigo, headache, fever, impaired judgment, stiffness, muscles of extreme tension. Different from all symptoms. Some simple types like Delta can become infected. Sure looks like it. How do we deal with it? You can't. Once you become her captive, it's all over. Ida herself can't control this ability. The effect lasts until she dies. Until she says, There's no way. It's very simple. Go ahead and try it. You'll see long enough how futile resisting her is. Got my job was lasts longer. Don't push so hard, Chica dear. Now come on. Relax. Grr. Too close. If I let my guard down, she'll get it. What an incredible force of will. Watching you almost cheer you on instead. And you have Shikamaru just basically holding his kunai. And when I was like, I told you it's futile. If you want to kill her in your head, you just say, we'll reject that. Quit fighting her, or else I'm going to damage your mind. It's like, shoot. Jeez, took long enough. Yeah. Then the Code basically just walks into him, pins him to the wall. Now, comply won't be harmed. And then basically Code uses his thumb, we shapeshift, yes, and digs into Amano's shoulder. It's like, lots of nerves coming in here. Hurts, doesn't it? Erg, how vulgar. Ida, what's your motive? Why are you helping Code? Do you have some grudge against Konoha? Not really. Code's motive is personal. I don't care about it at all. Then why cooperate with him? Well, I have no reason to hide it, so I don't mind telling you, Chica dear, since you're easy to talk to. You see, I like Kamaki. Oh my god, I said it! It's so funny. Yeah, she admitted she liked Kamaki. I simply get assistance from Code in that matter. In return, I'm helping gain his power. Is that so? Thanks for telling me. Just way change. I'm switching plans. Change the lock release in the code from his room door now. Huh? The enemy has some troublesome ability. I know I request backup, but I don't want bartenders coming here. I need you to stall him somehow. What, Shikamaru? Trust me, just do it. You just thought, how foolish, didn't you? No, I'm just surprised. It's it's great, wonderful. I almost want to support your feelings. So Ida, I have a proposition for you. Proposition. Do you want to come on a corner, huh? Think about it. We can mutually aid each other. And afterwards, you can tell Carnegie how you feel. Or what else you want. And then the chapter is would go and say, what? Wow. That's a damn good chapter. I love it. Yeah. Really good. I love it. Like, what rank do I give this chapter? A 10 out of 10. Wow. One confession and one implied thing. Like, really? Wow. It's just so good. And we have to wait till next month for the next one to come out. Yeah. Next month. Like, apparently the next one comes in 29 days. Like, almost 30 days from now. So, it probably come out. Let's see. Probably, and this is my personal guess, maybe the same day go to Comic Con. It's possible. Yep. But great chapter. I love it. 10 out of 10. Really good. Okay, so that's the episode review. Next up, Comic Corner, and that'll be it for tonight because I don't have more time to do more videos. I'll probably have time to do one, maybe two videos tomorrow. One video I'm definitely going to do is Rise of Hero tomorrow. But this one I really wanted to do 3 days ago. But the thing is, the last few days I've not been able to. Due to the fact I've had streams to do the last couple days. Yes. Yeah, the first stream I did was Super Sentai stream. The other one was an anime stream. There was a makeup from last week. But definitely next week, don't have to worry about this at all. Basically, like, delay, whatever. So, next one, Comic Core, and that'll be it for tonight, okay? Next video. Bye.